Welcome to the dark and dangerous world of Europe's most infamous drug kingpin, the mastermind behind the ruthless Mocro Mafia gang. In this video, we'll take you on a wild ride as we uncover the shocking story of the crown witness who betrayed the Mocro Mafia. From the millions made in his drug empire to his connections with high-profile assassinations, this is a tale that will leave you on the edge of your seat. So, buckle up and prepare to witness one of the most twisted stories ever happened in the crime world. The rise of the Mocro Mafia is a matter of various factors, including the marginalization and social exclusion of second-generation immigrants in the Netherlands, as well as an increasing demand for drugs in Europe. The group's members have also been able to exploit weaknesses in Dutch law enforcement, including the lack of resources and coordination between police departments. The Mocro Mafia's activities have had a devastating impact on communities in the Netherlands and beyond, contributing to rising levels of violence and organized crime. Efforts to dismantle the group have been ongoing, but the Mocro Mafia remains a powerful and dangerous criminal organization. Nabil B was a Dutch-Moroccan man who was involved with the Mocro Mafia in the Netherlands. He was a close associate of key members of the organization and participated in a range of criminal activities, including drug trafficking and extortion. In 2017, Nabil was arrested for his involvement in a number of crimes and was facing a long prison sentence. It was at this point that he made the decision to cooperate with the authorities and become a crown witness. This decision was not taken lightly, as Nabil knew that he would be putting his life and the lives of his family members at risk by betraying the Mocro Mafia. Despite the dangers, Nabil's testimony proved to be crucial in the prosecution of many key members of the Mocro Mafia, including several high-ranking leaders. His cooperation with authorities was seen as a major blow to the organization and was credited with helping to dismantle much of its infrastructure. Nabil's decision to become a crown witness was controversial and came with significant personal risks. However, his actions ultimately led to justice being served and the Mocro Mafia being brought to justice. His story serves as a cautionary tale of the dangers of getting involved with criminal organizations and the difficult choices that individuals must make when faced with the prospect of spending their lives in prison. Becoming a crown witness is a decision that comes with significant dangers and risks. Individuals who cooperate with the authorities to bring down criminal organizations are often viewed as traitors by the organizations they once belonged to, and their lives and the lives of their loved ones can be put in danger. Crown witnesses are often placed in witness protection programs, which can involve significant lifestyle changes and restrictions on their freedoms. This can include moving to a new location, changing their name, and severing ties with their friends and family. In addition to the risk to their safety, crown witnesses also face significant psychological challenges. The stress and trauma of cooperating with authorities and testifying in court have had long-lasting effects on their mental health. Despite these risks, many individuals choose to become crown witnesses in order to bring down criminal organizations and seek justice for their actions. Their decision to cooperate with authorities is not an easy one, and those who choose to do so must weigh the potential risks against the benefits of exposing criminal activity and helping to bring perpetrators to justice. The Dutch justice system has been at the forefront of efforts to combat organized crime in Europe. The Netherlands has a long history of progressive legal policies and has developed a range of innovative strategies to tackle organized crime. One of the key tools in the Dutch justice system's arsenal is the use of specialized teams and prosecutors who focus exclusively on organized crime cases. These teams are staffed with experienced investigators and lawyers who are well versed in the tactics and strategies used by criminal organizations. The Dutch justice system has also been proactive in developing laws and regulations aimed at disrupting the operations of criminal organizations. For example, the country has passed legislation that allows for the confiscation of assets acquired through criminal activities and has established a national database to track the financial flows of criminal organizations. In addition to these legal and law enforcement measures, the Dutch justice system has also emphasized the importance of prevention and community engagement. Programs aimed at at-risk youth, community outreach initiatives, and other social interventions are all seen as important tools in the fight against organized crime. Nabil's testimony has had a significant impact on the operations and hierarchy of the Mocro Mafia. As a trusted insider, Nabil was able to provide authorities with detailed information about the core organization's original activities, including its membership, hierarchy, and tactics. One of the most significant impacts of Nabil's testimony was the prosecution and conviction of many key members of the Mocro Mafia. This included several high-ranking leaders who had previously been able to evade law enforcement. Nabil's testimony was crucial in linking these individuals to specific criminal activities and providing evidence of their guilt. Nabil's testimony also had a broader impact on the Mocro Mafia's operations and hierarchy. The organization was forced to adapt to the loss of key members and the increased scrutiny from law enforcement. Some analysts have suggested that the Mocro Mafia has become more decentralized and fragmented in the wake of Nabil's cooperation, with different factions vying for power and influence. Despite these challenges, the Mocro Mafia remains a significant force in the Dutch criminal underworld. The organization continues to engage in a range of criminal activities, including drug trafficking and extortion, and has demonstrated a willingness to use violence to maintain its power and influence. The use of crown witnesses in criminal trials has long been a controversial issue. Critics argue that the practice undermines the justice system by allowing individuals to escape punishment for their crimes in exchange for their cooperation with the authorities. They also argue that the use of crown witnesses can lead to a culture of informants and snitching, which can erode trust within criminal organizations and communities. Proponents of use of crown witnesses argue that they are a valuable tool in the fight against organized crime. They argue that without the cooperation of insiders, it can be difficult to gather sufficient evidence to prosecute high-ranking members of criminal organizations. However, the use of crown witnesses raises significant ethical and legal questions. For example, prosecutors are often accused of making deals with witnesses that may be coercive or unfair. There is also the risk that witnesses may provide false or misleading testimony in order to secure a more favorable deal. The use of crown witnesses in criminal trials highlights the critical need for witness protection programs to ensure the safety of cooperating witnesses and their families. Witnesses who provide information to the law enforcement agencies are often at risk of retaliation from criminal organizations, which may seek to silence them or their loved ones. Witness protection programs provide a range of services to witnesses, including relocation, security, and financial support. These programs are typically run by law enforcement agencies and are designed to ensure that witnesses can testify without fear of retribution. Despite the importance of witness protection programs, they can be difficult to implement effectively. Witness protection often requires a significant investment of resources, and it can be challenging to provide adequate protection to witnesses and their families without compromising their safety or infringing on their rights. Another challenge is the long-term nature of witness protection. Witnesses may need to remain in protective custody for many years, which can be emotionally and psychologically taxing for both the witness and their family members. In some cases, witnesses also may struggle with the loss of their previous identity and the challenges of adjusting to a new life. Organized crime is a significant challenge for law enforcement agencies in the Netherlands. In recent years, the Dutch government has made significant investment in combating organized crime, including the establishment of specialized units and the allocation of additional resources to law enforcement agencies. Despite these efforts, organized crime remains a persistent and growing threat. Criminal organizations in the Netherlands are highly adaptable and sophisticated, using advanced technology and employing tactics such as money laundering and intimidation to evade law enforcement. One of the key challenges facing Dutch law enforcement is the international nature of organized crime. Criminal organizations operate across national borders, making it difficult for law enforcement agencies to track and apprehend their members. Another challenge is the use of encrypted communication technologies by criminal organizations. These technologies make it difficult for law enforcement agencies to monitor communications and gather evidence of criminal activities. To combat these challenges, Dutch law enforcement agencies have adopted a range of strategies, including increased collaboration with international partners, the use of advanced technologies, and the establishment of specialized units focused on specific types of organized crime. The testimony of Nabil B. has a broader implication for fight against organized crime, not just in the Netherlands, but across Europe and beyond. Nabil's testimony revealed the inner workings of the Mocro Mafia and its connections to criminal organizations in other countries, shedding light on the extent and complexity of transnational organized crime. The case also highlighted the potential power of cooperation between law enforcement agencies and insiders within criminal organizations. The use of insider information is a critical tool in combating organized crime, and the success of Nabil's testimony could encourage more individuals to come forward with information about criminal activities. However, the case also underscores the significant risk associated with becoming a crown witness. Nabil and his family continue to face serious threats, even under the protection of the Dutch government. This serves as a reminder of the dangers of organized crime and the critical need for effective witness protection programs. The case may also prompt other countries to take a closer look at their own efforts to combat organized crime and explore new strategies for disrupting criminal activities. Overall, Nabil's testimony has implications that extend far beyond the borders of Netherlands and could have a significant impact on the fight against organized crime worldwide. The decision to betray a criminal organization for the sake of justice raises complex ethical and moral considerations. On the one hand, providing information to law enforcement agencies can be seen as a courageous and morally justifiable act, especially if it leads to the prosecution of individuals responsible for serious crimes. However, cooperating with law enforcement agencies also involves betraying the trust of the criminal organization, which can lead to serious consequences for the individual and their loved ones. It also raises questions about loyalty, honor, and the role of criminal organizations in society. Moreover, the decision to cooperate with law enforcement agencies is not a straightforward one, and individuals may face pressure or coercion from authorities or criminal organizations. In some cases, the decision to cooperate may be made out of self-preservation or as part of a plea deal, rather than a commitment to justice. Despite these complexities, many argue that cooperating with law enforcement agencies is ultimately a moral and ethical imperative. It is essential to bring criminal organizations to justice and to prevent further harm to victims and society at large. Nevertheless, the decision to cooperate must be made carefully, taking into account the potential risks and consequences for all involved. Thank you for watching this video. We hope this deep dive into the case has given you a better understanding of the complexities of organized crime and the challenges of combating it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content.